Hello everyone. A book I read recently is A Farm called Nellmurra by Noah Kowald. I found Kowald, or Noah Kowald, I don't know how I'm meant to refer to him on here. On my blog I always use the surname of the author. This feels a bit more informal, and maybe I should just call him by his first name. I don't know. I found him, I was watching a video on Tara Farms, and she said, go and watch this YouTube channel. They're out in Western Australia. They're going through a bushfire at the moment. Go and give them your support. Naturally, I wanted another Australian farm to support. So I go straight over there and I subscribe to his channel, and every of his words. Every video of his is focused on the fire, because fires are really, really devastating. I mean, he's lost so much. And in looking through his channel and looking at his about to see who he is and what he is, I found he's written a book. So naturally I bought the book. I mean, what else would I do but buy the book? Not just because I wanted to support him, but because it's a book. I figured it wouldn't be a romance, and it isn't. Unless we're talking about the love this guy has for his farm. That's a totally different thing entirely. Quite happy with that. And the love he has for his car. Yeah. And the other vehicles. I think that comes through very, very clearly. So let me talk about some of the negatives in this. He's young. He knows nothing much about writing a book, about formatting a book, about editing a book, and about proofreading. Now, the editing is quite reasonable. The formatting has issues. The proofreading, I'm constantly saying you should not proofread your own work. You should get someone who knows what they're doing. And proofreading is a skill in and of itself. You may be a U-Butte writer and a fabulous editor and not be able to see your own mistakes. Actually, it's highly probable that you won't see your own mistakes, because you're reading what you're expecting to see. So you should always outsource the proofreading to someone else, and not just someone in your family who you think is really good, but someone who really does know what they're doing. I have been very fortunate. I have a friend who is incredibly particular, who has volunteered to proofread my book for me, and I will be taking him up on that offer. I will be very happy to take him up on that offer. I just haven't yet. Because even though I'm really good at proofreading, I cannot proof my own stuff, because I will see the typos that I'll see them as correct, or I'll see them as my eye will just skip over them completely, because I'm expecting to see what's in my head. And this guy has issues with apostrophes, he's got issues with commas, and he's got issues with the difference between your and your, and there's formatting issues. He's obviously done the formatting himself. He's received some help with the writing, not the writing. He's received feedback from people with the writing. And he's received help with the editing. But everything else, I mean, these are skills in and of themselves. And it's really hard to do your own proofreading. Formatting, once you know what you're doing, that's fine, but he doesn't, and I know a little bit. And because my proofreading eye just goes, but I see them. What's really annoying about my skills is that I can actually see when there are 2 spaces or 3 spaces and when there should be 1. I get very annoyed at that. Okay, so that's the negative stuff. Now, he's got some skills here. He's got a great imagination. I would have loved to have seen this in more short story form. So take some longer format stories, which are in chapters, and break them down into short stories rather than chapters. And the reason for that is because what I could see in this book is actually a TV series. Only one season, unfortunately. I'm sure there's ways of stretching it out to get more seasons, but I can only see one season in this book. And if you look towards New Zealand, there is a cartoon that was in the papers for years, and back in 1990s, I think. And I didn't think to bring the DVD in with me, but they did a movie called Footrot Flats, A Dog's Tale. And that was brilliant, and it was animated. And what I see is this as animated TV series. Now, I don't have the skills to be able to help Noah Kowald, or Kowald, whatever, in order to be able to help the author transfer it from this to a TV series. That's beyond me. I just have the ideas. I just go, the way he was writing, I could see bits and pieces in my head, and enough for me to say, this would be great as a TV series. And once you've got the TV series, then you've got all the merch. Because what you've got in here is you've got the farm equipment, so the cars, the utes, the gators, the tractors. That's the word I'll use, but there's other ones in this, and they could be fabulous as plushies. Once you have the drawings of these farm equipment, of these cars, you make them into plushies, and you sell mugs and huge keep cups. I mean, I want a keep cup of Kubota, for example. I actually had to look up what Kubota is because I wanted to look at the farm equipment to see what it is, and they are so cute. Sorry, and if you had that in cartoon form, that would be so cute. And then to have the plushie of the Kubota, and the plushie of Ford, and the plushie of Nissan, and there were a number of other cars. I mean, you've probably got about 10 plushies in there. And the magnets, and the badges, and, earrings. I'd need earrings. Then I don't know if the TV series would ever come about, but if he happens to have the drawing skills to be able to take this is probably Ford, to be able to take this and make into a cartoon, that would just be amazing. And then, as I said, the plushies. I don't know that I'd want the plushies, but if I had the money to buy one of each and then put them out into under some tree somewhere as Christmas gifts would be pretty amazing. But I would have to have a keep cup with Kubota. Don't know why. So what I didn't say, sorry, I got distracted by the merchandising possibilities and the cartoon ideas. What I didn't say is that these cars can talk, and they can handle their two-way radios, and they can drive themselves, so they are heroes in this book. I thought that was pretty awesome. There's so much good stuff in this book. So much good stuff. Yeah, and I'd like to see it on my TV screen. ABC, you need to pick up this book and make it happen. That's what I have to say. It's probably aimed at tweens. Probably tweens. And that would be some great Australian television. And it would be a really good way of showing us a farm. You might have to downplay the some of the bad stuff, but only a little bit. Like there's a bushfire in here, which almost takes people out. There's... I won't say anything more because spoilers, but ABC TV, children's TV, buy this book, look at it, see what and you'll see what I'm saying. And the merchandising possibilities are awesome. And now I want all the earrings. Why do I want the earrings? I never remember to change my earrings. I still have, on my desk, I have all these earrings that I bought at Book Fair Australia. The mint slices. Now, wouldn't that be really good to have Ford as earrings? They wouldn't be hanging down like that. They would have to be like that. Because you wouldn't want to have Ford upside down or anything. You want to have Ford flat. I'm my own worst enemy sometimes. But if he did that, I would have to buy all the earrings and the keep cup. I don't know about the mugs because I have no room for mugs. We actually got rid of half a dozen mugs a while back, and now there's a bit of room in the cupboard. But not much. And as I say this, as I do this video in March, a couple of weeks' time, I'm off to Australian Discworld Convention. I have bought another mug. I've also bought another t-shirt, so that'll be good. Because this one is looking a bit holy. Anyway, this is really an exciting book. There are other books I've read. I've read them and I've had to give them up because too many typos. This one, despite the typos, despite the formatting issues which made my brain have conniptions, I had to get all the way through to the back, and the back, the last little bit which I didn't read. This is actually a glossary, okay, and it talks about all the things that, as city people, I have no idea about. So an air seeder, it's got a fairly good explanation of an air seeder, and a case hugger. A person who is very passionate about their case IH machinery. And in fact, they would probably want all the merch for that. Various tractors, Cockygate, which is a simple, cheaply made gate, common on most Australian farms that have stock. A combine, a header, Holden, which you may not know about if you're not in Australia. Kenworth trucks, manure heap, various things, equipment and farm equipment and farm locations that are mentioned in this book. Oh, that's clever. So there's a rain cap. And it refers to the flap found on the tip of tractors with straight exhaust pipes. It is used to stop rainwater flowing down into a vehicle's engine, causing damage. That's really useful. It's good to know. Anyway, that one's very long. That's about a ute. Okay. Ute's a very special Australian invention. They're a pickup truck, a form of pickup truck, where the frame is split in the middle between the cab and the tray. And they're very common in America, but they call them trucks or pickups. And they're Australian invention. I think they were designed on a farm, invented on a farm. Anyway, there's quite an extensive, about a page and a half explanation on that. Anyway, so, well worth reading. If your tween is up to chapter books, and some tweens are not, there's about 360 pages. It's excitement plus. I love the vehicles. They were fabulous, and I really want Kubota on earrings, the Ford on earrings. I want Kubota in a... Listen, I'm not trying to give you any ideas, Mr. Noah Kowald. Seriously, I'm not, I promise. But, you know, had to buy your book. And these are just my thoughts, and that's what goes on in my YouTube channel. I have no idea how I write about this, but that's a problem for another day. So, thank you for writing. I hope your farm's going well, and I'll talk to everyone else another time. Bye.